Welcome back to Coach's Corner East. I'm at the Pizza Hut in Galleon on this Wednesday, January 12th, and it's the Crestline portion of tonight's show with Coach Tyler Sanders and the boys basketball team at Crestline High School. Before we get to them, I want to let everybody know that we're brought to you in part by the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer straight west of Galleon on the Manette New Winchester Road. Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion, and Sweet Baby Ray Jones, Davy's little brother at Ohio Door and Sash, 120 South Street in Galleon. Coach Tyler Sanders joins me tonight, and it's good to see you again. It's been a while since we've talked, but things are moving in the right direction for the Bulldogs, a very hot team as of right now. What's it, 4 out of the last 5, 5 out of the last 6?
5 out of the last 6.
5 out of the last 6, you've gotten wins, so congratulations on that. 6-4 overall, 3-2 in the Mid-Buckeye Conference. And the first thing I have to ask about, because I've been dying to ask you this, and I was a little surprised by it, but of course you're a coach, you know more than I do. On New Year's Eve, you had a scrimmage.
Yes.
And I didn't know you were allowed to do that in midseason, or what's the
Yeah,
situation
you're
there?
just you only get so many scrimmages a year, and we had only scrimmaged 3 times. I believe you get either 5 in a showcase or a preview, or 4 in a preview.
Okay.
So we had this long layoff there for a couple weeks, and we actually, me and my assistant, we went to go scout a game, and we saw that Monroeville had a long layoff as well. So we just reached out to them. You know, they were 8-0 at that point.
Right.
We were able to make it happen and scrimmage them, and I think we were trying to get that bad taste out of our mouth from that Kittering game, the game that we did lose during this run. So it was good, though. We competed well, and it was a good time.
Yeah, I just didn't know you could bank those and kind of pull them out when you needed to.
Yep.
So I learned something tonight. So I appreciate. Not that I ever thought that you were doing something below board or anything like that, because you were advertising about that you scrimmage and so on. I just didn't know. But you're right. At that time, they were undefeated. They've since lost to South Central and Western Reserve, but still right up there in the Firelands Conference in a very solid program with a really good scorer in the Raider boy.
Yep.
So coming out of that, you felt pretty good.
Yeah, you know that. So the only reason why we scrimmaged, other than the layoff, was because that Kittering game was so bad. So we were 0 for 14 from 3 and 8 for 24 inside the paint. So even though it really still didn't get that taste out of our mouth till we finally played another game, we had to compete against somebody else because I was losing my mind thinking about that game. So we did play well. We still didn't shoot the ball well. We're still in a little bit of a shooting slump. We're finding ways to win, but I think we only made 1 3 that scrimmage. And then the next game I believe was Ridgedale, and I think we hit 5 or 6 threes that night. But still just not. We still haven't shot the ball that we're the way that we're capable. So I think I told you at the beginning of the season too, if I remember right, that I was excited because this should be the best shooting team I've ever had.
Yeah, right.
And currently we're shooting 26% from 3, and so we're seeing more zone than any coach wants to see. And it's until we figure out how to shoot ourselves out of it, we'll probably continue to see it.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned last Wednesday you beat Ridgedale down at that place. Is that the first time you've ever coached there, or had it?
Yeah, first time I played there. Hopefully the last.
You don't like it?
I know, basketball traditionalists love that place.
Right.
I'm just not a big fan of Marion County, and it's just a different kind of basketball. And I think it was good for us because we're not a real physical team. So I think at this point in the season we needed it, but there's just a lot of dirty play. I feel like every time we're down there. So it's just that was fun playing you guys, but if you guys want to come here every year, that's kind of where I stand on it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's just different.
Gotcha. Then last Friday you jumped back into Mid-Buckeye Conference play and you beat Loudonville 53-40. And how satisfying was that win for you?
Yeah, it was a good win. I mean, they sat in zone for a large part of that game too. But like I said, we're not shooting the ball well, we're getting it done on the defensive end. Good defense, great defense leads to good offense, and so we look better because we are starting to put some more points up than we have. But it's mostly because of the defense. I'm just getting the passing lanes, getting steals, leaking out in transition, finding open guys. So yeah, it was good to get a W with another game where we only made 1 3. So as a team that relies on threes, we got to start shooting the ball better.
Have you been more happy with the defense at this point than the offense?
Yeah. So last year, I think we gave up just 50 points a game, and so this year we wanted to be under 48. We're at 46 a game.
Good.
So we're doing a great job on defense, rebounding the ball really well. The only issue that I have right now is shooting. So Once we get that figured out, I think we're going to be really dangerous. Hopefully, we figure it out Friday night.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. You're going to need to,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Take a break here and talk to the young men around the table. Great segue there. You should be in radio. Show is brought to you in part by Lee Plymouth and Brad Seibert at the Plymouth Insurance Group, Gallion and Bucyrus, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, North Walnut Street, across from the courthouse in Bucyrus, and Phil and Sue Schreck at Phil's Deli, just east of Pizza Hut at the bridge in Gallion. First up, it's all juniors tonight. It's Isaiah Perry. Isaiah, you want to grab the microphone there? You're ready, raring to go, looking good tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Position on the team that you play?
I am the point guard.
You are the point guard, so
Yes,
you're
sir.
stirring the drink, so to speak, and setting the table for the offense. But you're going to get a lot of pressure defensively, maybe
Yeah.
bringing the ball up. How's your ball handling, your strength, and being able to ward off all of that pressure?
I think at the beginning of the season, like starting with that Crawford game, it was a bit, rough.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say personally, I feel like I got a lot more confident handling the ball and handling pressure. So
Sure.
I think it's definitely got better throughout the season.
Are you asked to shoot much or contribute in the score column, or not so much?
I think
Coach is anticipating this answer.
he would like me to score the ball a lot more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he definitely asked me to shoot the ball a lot more than I do.
Size-wise, you look like you could take it to the rack pretty well and take some harm. Do you do that often, or are you more of an outside threat?
That's probably where I get most of my points is driving in for layups. But I mean, I can shoot when I want to.
Do you get some harm and get to the free throw line then as well?
Not as much as I should, but I can, yeah.
Did the coaches coach you up on maybe how to induce those fouls so you can get a three-point play, or did you not talk about that too much and you just go about it and get the score?
I think we should do it more, talk about it more, but we do talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Big game coming up. You go to Lucas on Friday, a tough place to play, a really talented team, really good coaching, a team that got you first time around and has been getting you here the last few years. You have a great opportunity to stay in that MVC race. What are you going to need to do to get that win?
Me personally,
Yeah.
what I didn't do the first time was handle pressure well in that game. That's why I was saying, since then I feel like I've gotten a lot more confident with handling the ball.
Good.
Definitely handling pressure early on and the hitting shots. We have to hit shots that game or else we're out of it.
Yeah, in trouble.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, you did a great job. Well spoken. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Trevor Shade's up next. Hi, Trevor. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, did you have a good holiday?
I had a great holiday.
Yeah, and everything was good until we were talking Cavs off air, and you said you were Wizards fans. Why are you a Wizard fan?
Well, when I was younger, I was into the NBA, but I didn't really know a lot of the players.
Mm-hmm.
And I was scrolling through Instagram one day, and I saw a highlight of John Wall.
Oh, okay.
And so I just thought that he was going to be my favorite player. And so that's where I started liking the Wizards.
Yeah, very good. I mean, everybody gets to choose whoever they want to, so that's great. I just wanted to know the background information. Season for you, how's it going so far?
I'm not scoring as much as I should be,
Mm-hmm.
or as much as Coach wants me to, but I try to make up for it in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is it because you're not getting the looks, or they're just not falling?
I'm getting the looks, and they're just not falling, or I'm not taking the look.
How do you shoot your way out of it?
Just got to shoot it whenever I get it.
Practice, practice, practice. The defense, coach said, you're below kind of the target of where you wanted to be, and it sounds as if defense, in some regards, is winning you some ball games. Do you see that your whole team has kind of bought into that concept of hey, we can shut people down. We may not be hot tonight, but if we shut people down, we're going to get the win.
Yes.
Okay, so you've all bought into that. What have you liked about the way that they've approached, your whole team has approached this defensive end?
The whole team knows that great defense turns into good offense, and we get a lot of our points in transition. So if we get a steal, we're always flying down the court, and it just turns into points.
Yeah, it's just a really nice group of a lot of athletic kids, and I'm sure, when you're banking on RJ and Lucas to get rebounds, or whoever's down there getting rebounds, and then somebody's flying. I mean, whether it's Isaiah or you or Josh or whoever, Connor's just flying, and it probably turns into a little bit of a track meet, doesn't it?
It does.
And then you can wear teams down.
Yep.
All right, so you like that free spirit. That's a good thing. Well, continued success. Good luck this weekend. It'll be a tough game, but get after it and get a win over the Cubs.
Thank you.
You bet. Next up, it's Jake Bruce, and it's good to see you again. It's been a long time since football, but and congratulations on your accolades for football this year. Well done, my man.
Thank you.
Good job. How's your season going so far this year?
It's going good. I feel like I haven't progressed as much as I thought I would, but there's still a lot of the season left.
Yeah, absolutely. You got, 10 games in, so you got 12 left. You still got a ways to go, and then the tournament. What's the biggest thing you need to improve on here in the second half of the year?
I need to be more aggressive and get towards the rim and then finish the ball.
Mm-hmm. Defensively, how's your defense done, your footwork especially?
Coach usually just puts me on the big man and tells me not to give up ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then in that football, strength comes into play there, doesn't it? Because you have to be physical on the football field, and certainly if you're saying, well, don't give up ground and don't let him get to the hole, you're deploying a lot of that same talent, aren't you?
Right. Yeah.
When you look at the entire team, outside of shooting, because that can come and go, for you guys to be successful in the second part of the year, what do you see as the biggest thing your whole team needs to get better at?
Whole team.
Yeah.
We need to shoot the ball a lot.
Just shoot.
Our percentages are low.
It's just coming down to
it's-
that.
it's
All
that.
right. Well, that's pretty simple. That's a great answer, and I do appreciate it. Continued success. Thanks for coming out. It's good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Our final break here, we're brought to you in part by Steve Kurtzman Associates Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street in Gallion, Candy Bolin at Bolin Realty, 2 blocks west of the Uptown Gallion Square, and John Cross at Cross Carpet and Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street, downtown Crestline. Back with Tyler Sanders, and Coach, talk to me a little bit how things are going at the JV level right now for you guys. I know it's been a little bit of a rough
it's
stretch,
they're the good news is we got some JV kids now that I think are committed. We had some kids that weren't able to live up to our standards, and so they've decided to move on, which is fine. So we're kind of getting to the core of the guys that are going to be here long term and are committed to what we're trying to do, and they're competing well. I mean, I thought Ridgedale had a very solid JV team. We were down big at halftime. We only gave up 2 points till the final 3 minutes of that game, and just kind of lost towards the end. And then we played. We didn't. It was probably Lavaux was probably not one of our better JV games, but they're battling. They're competing. They're giving themselves really good opportunities. And as long as those kids stick with it, stay bought in, work hard this summer, they'll be fine. So just playing a little bit of catch up from junior high and learning how to win, and they'll be just fine.
Speaking of junior high, how you doing down at that?
Yeah, not bad. That's kind of where I think we got a good future down there. We got around 25 kids or so between 7th and 8th grade. So numbers are trending in the right way. 7th grade, I want to say, is over 500. 8th grade's probably right around 500. Not quite sure specifically what their records are, but they're playing well. They're getting better, and some kids are really coming along that we maybe weren't expecting at the beginning of the season. So it's good to see, and good to see the progress from the beginning of the season to the end.
Good. Pretty busy schedule coming up now after this long layoff. You're going to go 3 games in about, 5 days, something like that. You kick it off Friday down at Lucas. We talked about really a tough place to play. And not only that, they're just a talented team. Coach Eisman does a great job down there. It's a team that you lost to only by 12 the first time, 55-43. They're currently 7-2 overall, 5-0 in the NBC. It's who you're chasing right now. And I'm sure after their long football run, they're finding themselves a little bit similar to what Carey's doing in the Northern 10. What have you seen on them on film that you just see that they're getting better?
Yeah, I mean, their 2 losses are to Berlin Highland and Norwayne, who I think, I think Norwayne's sitting like 7-2, 8-2, and then Berlin Highland last I looked was like 9-1. So their losses are quality opponents. They've beat some good teams, beaten South Central. However, I think it's a team that we, if we play well, we can beat. I'm really optimistic about our kids, and I mean, to be where we're at, I thought because last year we were in the same spot. We were 6-4, won 5 out of 6, and heading into these 2 games. But last year I thought we were playing well. This year, I think these boys know I'm not overly satisfied with where we're at. I mean,
Because you have higher expectations.
I do. I have high expectations, but I just know that we're a much better basketball team than the way we're playing. So like I said, if we shoot the ball the way that we're capable, I really believe these guys can go 2-0 this weekend. But if we shoot the ball the way that we have been, we'll be 0-2 this weekend. They know that. So, like I said, the rest of our game has been very sound. We're turning the ball over less than probably most teams. We're under 12 a game. We got a lot of assists. We're beating our opponent and rebounding. We're going to the free throw line more than everybody else. We're just knocking down shots. So I'm very confident in the second half of our schedule, and this being one of the better records the school's had in a long time, if we can find a way to put that ball through the hoop.
Yeah, very good. And you mentioned a double weekend. Saturday you host Elgin. Have you looked much at them yet, or just concentrated on Lucas right now?
No, we got the scouting report on both teams. I mean, Elgin's very well coached. I say every year their coach is the best coach we go against every year. So he's just never has like tons and tons of talent, but his boys are always very well coached. Their defense is always really, really good. They're always ready for everything we throw at them, and I think we're 0-3 in the last 3 years to them. So I know they're going to be prepared for us, but it is a game, like I said, I feel like if we knock down shots, we can win. So they're sitting at about 7-3 right now.
Okay.
So,
And then next Tuesday, not to look too far ahead, but you head to Attica in the Northern 10 Conference and play Seneca East, a team that touts the N10 leading scorer in Isaac Mason, averaging about 32 points a game, above and beyond the other things that he does in statistical. But we won't look too far ahead. But that'll be another challenge too. Do you like kind of having those back-to-back non-league games, or would you rather stay in the league?
yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I just, at this point in the season, when you've practiced so much and you feel like you've played very little, you just want to get out and play.
Yeah.
And I think like a team with Seneca East, it's good and bad. It's bad that you have to stop a kid that scores 32 points a game. It's good though if you stop him, you're going to win.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the mindset we have to have going into that game.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate all you guys coming out, and continued success. I enjoy watching the progress, and just look forward to the second half of the year, and we'll be talking again in a few weeks.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Coming up a little later tonight, actually probably just starting right now, we have Ohio State women's basketball on WQEL. They are in Columbus taking on Lady Sparty, the Michigan State Spartans, and you can catch that game on WQEL. Tip time will be right around 7 o'clock. Tomorrow night, we have Ohio State men's basketball. They'll be in Madison, Wisconsin, taking on the Wisconsin Badgers, coverage beginning at 6:15. Friday night, it'll be high school boys basketball on WQEL, Battle of Route 602, as Buckeye Central goes to Colonel Crawford to take on the Eagles. And then I will be in for the Friday night phone board, and my guests in the studio will be Kyle Fenner and the girls basketball team from Colonel Crawford High School. Saturday night, we have a girls game during the day. It'll be Colonel Crawford at Bucyrus on WBCO. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Later on that evening, we'll go over to Colonel Crawford as they host Lexington in a non-league game on WQEL. And tip time at approximately 6:30, and then Jared Moore will be on board for the Saturday night phone board. And then on Sunday, it's Ohio State men's basketball. They'll be taking on Penn State from Columbus, coverage beginning at 11:15 in the morning. I want to thank everybody here at our Italian Pizza Hut, especially our managers, Bree, Michelle, and Jordan. Thank you to Ian tonight for being our server. Thank you to Danny back in the studio for doing all the things that she does. And thank you to Cameron Moon here, our camera operator, and Harper Boggs for all of her on-site help. Thank you to Galleon boys basketball coach Ryan Stover. Thank you to Colonel Crawford assistant boys basketball coach Brett Capel. And thank you to Crestline boys basketball coach Tyler Sanders and his team for joining tonight. Thank you to our sponsors, and most of all, you, our fans, for tuning in on the WQEL Facebook page and the Crawford County Now YouTube page. For WQEL Sports, this has been Mike Sparks reminding you, a spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. Have a good night, everybody.